Ba-dum-bum-bum. Ba-da-dum-bum-bum. Ba-da-dum-bum-bum. Hey, kia ora. Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Surprise in Arizona. Hope you're having a super fantastic, sparkling day. Welcome to Before the Dirt Nap podcast number 1447. Jeepers creepers. Hang on, I didn't cross last night's one off. We are on Tuesday, right? Is it Tuesday? It is Tuesday. Yes, the 18th. Yes. Sorry, my brain is so fried right now. I don't even know which way I'm coming. I don't even know which way's up. Anyway, but welcome to Before the Dirt Nap, episode number 1447. Only 13 days until we celebrate 4 years of doing this every single day. And tonight's topic, we're talking about enjoy the simple things in life. And I was actually been thinking about this all day, just enjoying the simple things. And I was like looking around going, what were some of the simple things? And I thought, I know, wouldn't it be awesome if we had rain right now? Rain. I love the rain. I love it when it rains. I haven't been able to do this in the RV because of usually when we get rain, we get some wind with it as well. So you can't have the awning out, but I'm in a house and I have a covered patio area, which is about 8 to 10 feet deep. I have a front porch out here, which is again about 8 to 10 feet deep. So I'm looking forward to the rain. And I've got out in the back patio, I have got a mat set up out there with a couple of chairs and they're folding chairs though, but a couple of chairs and a footstool. And I thought, this will be. Zeffie loves going out there first thing in the morning. As soon as I get up and go to the bathroom, she's there ready to go. She wants outside, not to do anything. She just wants to go lay in the sun. And that's a perfect place because there's just a little bit of sun that comes on there first thing in the morning because the backyard faces north. So she gets a little bit of the sun there first thing in the morning. And it's a great place just to sit out there and have something as simple as a cup of tea or a protein shake or, just to sit there and just be in the moment, enjoying that. Yes, it might be 80 plus, might be 88 degrees or 90 degrees or whatever outside at that time of the morning. 5:30 in the morning and it's like 89 degrees outside right now. It's insane. But I could sit out there for a few minutes and just enjoy the peace and the quiet. It's so quiet in this neighborhood at times, except for when Mr. Boom Boom comes home. People laugh when I call Mr. Boom Boom. I said, well, that's all I hear is boom, 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 boom from his speakers from his car. So Mr. Boom Boom. But I was sitting out there this morning and I thought, wouldn't it be awesome if it was raining right now? I could be sitting here getting that fresh rain smell, listening to it falling, watching it fall, and just doing nothing but sitting watching the rain fall, whether it's on the front porch or the back porch. I don't care which. If I have to move my chair to the front porch, I will do that. I will put a lead out. I'll have Zeffie on a lead so she could be out there with me. She wouldn't leave the porch anyway because it's raining. If it's raining, she won't leave the porch. It was hard to get her out of the RV to go for a walk when it was raining. But I'm just like, wouldn't it be great to have some rain? And when every morning when we go for a walk, oh my gosh, the earlier we go for a walk, the better for what we get to see and enjoy and be present for. It used to be that I would put earplugs in and listen to an audiobook. But Zeffie would become not out of control. She would have a mind of her own because I wasn't paying attention to her. But once I took the earbuds out and just stopped listening to audiobooks and just walking with her and just noticing stuff around you. Like we're going for walks in the park. There's a park just down the street here and we go for a walk down there every morning and it goes for several blocks. We just haven't had cool enough temperatures to expand our walking area to see exactly how far it goes or to be able to walk the whole length and back again. But even just when we're out there first thing in the morning, like around 6 o'clock in the 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, you get to see so many incredible creatures. There's these little lizards that'll skittle across the path. And Zeffie, of course, tries to chase them, but they're already gone before she can even get a step in place. Like with the bunny rabbits, there's bunny rabbits galore everywhere out there. There's all these birds out. There's these different types of birds out there. Hummingbirds. Oh my gosh. Every time. And usually I only see one hummingbird. The other day we were walking over to the park and there was actually two hummingbirds. One was sitting on the ground and the other one was using its beak and was flying, hovering above it, and was using its beak to try and pull it up. So they was hanging onto its beak, and the one that was flying was trying to pull the one that was on the ground, trying to pull its beak up. So I'm just slowing down my walk because I don't want to get too close to see what was going. I don't want to interrupt. And of course, I had Zeffy with me, and so I was holding Zeffy back as well. And finally, the one that was hovering flew off, and I was trying to think, okay, if we cross the road, so we moved on the stones to cross the road, and that little bird that was sitting there suddenly pops up and takes off. We go past a house down here, and all of a sudden we hear this noise, and all of a sudden there's quails everywhere. I have to tell you, if you've never seen a quail run, it is hilarious. They've got this little thing on top of their head that hangs down, and it's mum and dad, and I think we counted 10 chicks, and one of them will run across the road, and the other one kind of herds the rest of them. So one leads the way and the other one herds to make sure that nobody's left behind as they go scurrying across. But now they're all learning to fly, so they all fly up on top of the fence. If you're not in the moment, you miss these simple things in life, just these simple pleasures of watching wildlife. And all of a sudden, we're starting to see a lot of butterflies coming out, and it's fantastic. I have a love for, and every time I see butterflies, I think my paternal grandfather. He's the I must get that out. I've got to remember to take a picture of it for someone. He gave me, I'd always liked butterflies and stuff, but he gave me a butterfly brooch, and its body is made of blue zircons, which is my birthstone. And it's enamel painted wings, and it's just the cutest little thing. And I still have it. I'm trying to remember how old I was when we got that. I was probably 6, maybe 7 at the time when we got that one, when I got given that. So that thing I've had for 50 years, and I still treasure it to this day. Every time I open up the box that it's in, I'm just sort of like, so every time I see a butterfly, I always think of my grandfather. And it's just enjoying the simple things of watching them fly around. And one of them got really close to us the other day, and I was just like, "Hey, Granddad," and how you doing? I'm doing okay. And just started talking to the butterfly like it was my grandfather. And it sat there for ages, and Zeffy didn't even go anywhere near it. She was busy sniffing off over there, not aware that, and I'm busy talking to this, but I'm talking to a butterfly. Just the simple pleasures in life. It's like every time I usually see one hummingbird, and every time I see that hummingbird, it's like, "Hey, Brad, how you doing? How's today going?" And, tell him that I love him, because he always loves hummingbirds. So I associate different wildlife things with different members in the family that have passed. And every time I see them, I say hello to that person, to that person. And it's just the little things. And just being out there at that hour of the morning when you're walking through the park, and you're seeing the wildlife, you're seeing the bunny rabbits, and I'm like, when we go for a walk tonight, it'll be close to sunset, because it's getting to that point, and there'll be bunny rabbits all over the grass. And I've got to remember to take a picture of it one night so you can see how many bunny rabbits can you find. And some of them find these little divots, and they hucker down in these little divots. So the only thing you can see is the ears sticking up until you get closer, and then they flatten themselves down. It's amazing to watch. And some of them, Zeffy will get within 6, 7 feet of them, and the rabbit just freezes. It doesn't move a muscle. It's like it becomes a statue. And so Zeffy does her business, and the second that she stops doing her business, she usually turns around and scratches the grass. As soon as she turns her back, that rabbit's gone. It's like taken off. But it's just these simple things that I take notice of, that I'm taking notice of as we're walking. And because I'm present with Zeffy at that time, she now walks so much better on her leash than she does if I'm listening to an audiobook, because I'm not in the moment with her. So it's just finding those simple pleasures and everything else. And even just find some, if it doesn't have to be expensive. Just walk outside in nature. You'll find lots of simple things out there. Even going up and hugging it. I was talking to someone about tree hugging the other day. I love to hug trees. If I'm having a bad day and I've got nobody to give a hug to, Zeffy gets hugs all the time. But if we're out and walking and I just feel like I need a hug, I go hug a tree. People will probably think I'm weird. I don't. I just hug a tree. It's me. Like we talked about yesterday, embrace yourself. If you're somebody who's a tree hugger, go hug a tree. Don't care who's watching. Don't care about their opinion. It is you have to give them permission to make you feel bad or feel embarrassed about what you're doing. So if you're not paying attention to what they're doing, they're really not paying attention to you. They're more worried about what you think of them. So go hug a tree. If you want to hug a tree, hug a tree. That's all I can say on that. And then it was simple things like, I love fresh fruit. I love fresh fruit. The problem I have with fresh fruit is I always tend to overbuy, and it's like, oh, and then I go on this spree of just gorging on fruit so I get to eat it before it goes bad. Now, if it's bananas, that's a different story. I can now do this because I'm in a house and I have a real freezer instead of this little tiny thing that I had in the RV. And that is, I take, as most banana recipes, whether it's for muffins, cakes, banana bread, most of them call for 2 bananas mashed, at least in my experience. And so, so what I do is I line up my baggies, get the little, the quart size, it's either the quart size or the sandwich ones. I think it's the quart size that I use. And what I do is I mash up bananas into 2 banana lots. I put a couple of drops of vanilla essence in there and mix it all up. And then I put them into these baggies and put them all flat and freeze them. And then when I need to make a banana bread recipe or banana pancakes or, banana pancakes, you add a couple of eggs. Whatever it is, if I need to add something, then like if I'm making bread, cake, muffins, banana pancakes, I just take out one of these bags, I defrost it, and when it calls for the banana spaghetti recipe, I just open up the bag and drop it all in there, and you will get the most moist banana, whatever it is that you're making, because of the extra liquid that's in there from the freezing. But you squeeze out all the air first before you seal the bags up. You got to squeeze all the air out. I don't do it on the vacuum sealer simply because it will probably pull the banana into the, I don't want it pulling out the banana. But that's one thing that I do. So with other fruit, I'm sort of like, I really want fruit. There's times that I just want fruit. And other times, and so when I go shopping, it's like, oh yes, I need to get me some fruit. And I always tend to overbuy. Never think of like buying it for a day or 2 and then coming back in another couple of days type of thing. But I was in my Costco shopping this morning on Instacart because I don't have time this week or next week to go shopping because I am working full days at the moment this week, and then next week I'm on full days for training with my annual genealogy conference / class that's going on next week. So no time to go to Costco or do anything. But they had these things, and I've been looking at these things and I thought, I'm going to try them because they say it's called That's It. And I think I got out the 3 flavors of it. There's apples and blueberries, apples and mangoes. This is really yummy because I've tried that one. And apples and strawberries. And they're called That's It. And all of the ingredients on the back. You ready? This is apples and strawberries. Ingredients: apples, strawberries. Nothing else. I'm like, there are 60 calories per one of these little mini bars. And they do have 12 grams of carbohydrates, but there is no added sugar. So all the carbohydrates that are in, all the sugar that's in these things are natural to the fruits. And I was like, yes. Now I don't have to worry. I can have this one I had earlier, apples and mango. It was so good. I was like, I'm definitely getting these again. But they're like candy. I was like, I finished that one. I was like, no, we're going to wait 20 minutes before we have another one. It's been 30 since I had one, so I'm doing well. And then you got apples and blueberries, and that's all that's in them. It says that's it. Apples and mangoes, that's the ingredients. Apples and blueberries, that's the ingredients. Apples and strawberries, that's the ingredients. So I'm not sure how they keep them fresh in here, but there's no ingredients added to make them fresh. So I guess it's the processing that they put them through for cooking or whatever. But they are really, really yummy. And they satisfied my fruit craving. So now if I don't have fresh fruit in the house, so if I buy a small amount of fresh fruit and I go through it and I still want to have a fruit craving, then I'll go and do that. Usually I have a piece of fruit a day if I can. But so it's the simple things. It's the simple things in life. You like fruit, get some of these and keep them in the pantry. Have these little snack thingies all lined up and everything else. I'm slowly going through them because I'm making sure there's no else's or losses in there if you joined us for the conversation on reading food labels. But, take time out of the day just to enjoy the simple things in life. It could be something as simple as just going offline. I try to do this on every Sunday. I try to turn the computer off. I try not to go on the computer at all, except to do my live. That's the only reason that I'm on there. That I'm on the computer on Sunday. So Sunday is my day to unplug, and that means keeping off the social media, keeping off the computer. Even if I want to go search genealogy, it's like, no, you've got Saturday to do that. So I'm even like not even allowing myself right now to go search genealogy. Although Sunday I will be on the computer because we've got part of our week coming up next week. So, which reminds me, I have to print my manuals. But, look for the simple things in life. It could be something as simple as sitting down and reading a book, having some music playing in the background while you sit and read a book. I love doing that. That's kind of one of my Sunday things, is to sit and read or watch a movie, do a movie fest, just stuff where you can just kick back and relax and do nothing. Once the temperatures start dropping again, it'll be nice because we'll be able to go out and go for walks on different way paths. Hello, sweetie girl. Playing with the dog. Another one, just something simple. Pulling out one of her toys and tossing it and watching her go running after this thing with her feet flying all over the place because she's on tile, trying to grab the ground at the same time that she's running. Then she gets on and then her forward momentum, she jumps on the toy and her momentum keeps going because she just keeps pushing and the toy just keeps going. So watching her try to figure out, okay, I've now got the toy, how do I stop? Usually the toy reaches the wall first, so she's not banging her head into the wall. It's the toy that bangs into the wall. But just something, a simple pleasure of just, interacting with the dog, just sitting there together on the couch and petting her while you read a book. Or we like to do naps together. So she sleeps on her bed, which is on my bed. Half of the bed is hers. And just having naps together. It's just doing stuff together. It's just those simple things in life. You don't have to go out and go, oh, well, now we've got to go do that. And you make it all technical and convoluted, and it takes all the enjoyment out if you put too much planning into it. You don't have to do any planning at all. Oh, I feel like reading. I feel like writing. Right. Grab a pen and paper and go write. I've done that too. I'm doing a writing class right now, which is going to get me back into the habit of writing, which I'm super excited about because I've been missing it. And every time I see my journal or my notebooks there with all my ideas and everything, and I look at it and go, yeah, and I walk away. It's almost like it's an overwhelm of stuff that just comes flying at me, and it's like, I don't even know where to start. So take time to just enjoy the simple pleasures in life, which is, and if you've got family around you, it could be doing a board game night, pulling out a board game and playing one of those. Do you still have board games? That's a good question. One of the things I found the other day was Brad had these they're called bookshelf games, and they come in they're about the size of a piece of paper, I guess, as far as height and width goes. And it's a card sleeve that you then pull it out, and there's a box that you pull out, and then you open that box, and the game pieces, the game stuff's all inside. They're really cool games. Some of them require a lot of strategic thinking, and other ones are they're pretty fun to play. I never won any of them. When Brad was around, Brad and his family, I will tell you this, and it goes into the boys as well. They are very competitive when it comes to board games. I remember back in Virginia when Brad and the boys would get at the dining table, and I'll be sitting there in the family room trying to read, and they are sitting at a table. All right, so they're just across the table from each other. They're within 6 feet of each other, and the volume level is up here. And it's like, you don't need to yell. You're sitting across the table from each other. And talk about competitiveness. Oh my gosh. I was glad when the basement got finished, because then I could throw them down in the basement. We had a table down there specifically. It was an old dining table. And I said, that's the game table. If you're doing a poker night, that's your poker night table. And I would throw them down there to play board games. And we had the stuff on the walls that was 99% sound absorbing. You could still hear them over that. But it was but they were having fun. They were in the moment, they were enjoying it. And it was just a simple pleasure of something as simple as playing a board game or playing cards. That was the other thing they would do together. Play cards, play board games. So just do these fun things together. And it didn't take a lot of thinking. It didn't take a lot of planning. It was just, let's play cards. Okay, what are we going to play? We'll play this. Okay, let's go. Just the simple things. Even if you're by yourself, pull out a deck of cards and play a game of solitaire. There's so many different versions of solitaire that you can play. I actually have a book somewhere in one of these boxes that's all these different card games. And there's a whole chapter on different solitaire card games that you can play. And some of them require one deck of cards, some require two. But it's just taking time to just get out of the rat race for a little bit. Just push everything aside. And when you sit and enjoy the simple things in life, you're taking this little mini vacation. And I was talking, who was I talking to the other day? I was talking with somebody the other day, and they said, "Oh, you were having a staycation this weekend." And I was like, I love to hear that. They said, we're going out and we're trying different things. And so I talked to them about my staycation challenge that I like to issue every now and again. The staycation challenge is to plan a weekend that you're going to use as a staycation. And the idea is that you spend no more than $20 per person per day. And that includes your gas, your parking, your entry fees, your food, everything. So it's now looking, what can I go and see for free? What has free parking? If I park the car here, what can I see within within a certain radius of this that I can go and see and enjoy? It could be that you take public transportation instead of taking the car. So therefore you don't have to worry about parking fees. It could be if you've got annual passes to like the zoo or one of the amusement parks or something, that you go and spend a day doing that. The only thing with those ones that you have to watch is they typically don't allow you to bring food in with you, because you could take a picnic with you. See, if you do the planning correctly, you may not have to spend as much on those days because you've already pre-planned, and now you've got the food there that you can go make the picnic up and take it with you. So on those days, you're not spending all that money on food or drink because you have it with you. So there's different ways that you can get around the $20 per person per day with annual passes, taking picnics with you, having snacks in the car, these things. I'm going to run them by Nicole. What do you think of these? Yes, I could easily eat a lot of those, but I'm going to be very good with those. Things like 40 in the bag that comes from Costco, I think. Might be 20. I'd have to go look at the bag again. And it's just finding those simple little things that don't cost anything. I know that if you live in San Diego, on Tuesdays, if you're a resident of San Diego and you take your driver's license, which shows a San Diego address on it, there's certain museums and art galleries you can get into for free on those Tuesdays. And they rotate the galleries and the museums every week. So every Tuesday you could go down to the to Balboa Park there, and there's a whole slew of different museums and galleries that are down there that you just need to show your driver's license and you can get to go in for free for that Tuesday. You come back the following Tuesday, there's different ones that's on the free list for residents. So look to see if your town or your city have something like that, where if you're a resident and you can prove it, with your driver's license, you get into certain things for free. Go check it out. You never know. So there's another idea of things that you can see and do. Look to see. Now, I know in DC I think it was on Fridays, in the Friday paper, that it was either Thursday or Friday, they had a list of all the events taking place in the DC metro area and surrounding areas, so the states that surrounded DC, and like in Maryland and Virginia, all the different activities that were going on, all the fairs that were taking place, whatever event was on, it was in this section of the newspaper. And we had fun going through that I can't remember if it was Friday or Thursday. We'd have fun going through that and circling things that we might like to go and check out. And they were all within, a couple of hours drive of where we were living. And that was a really cool way to plan a weekend as well, because you could go through there and, the Renaissance Fair's on this weekend. Well, let's go check that out. Or, hey, we didn't realize that this was coming, that this was there. We knew it was coming up, but we just didn't know, Brad and I like going to Renaissance fairs. We never dressed in costume. We just went along and had fun. I have a great photograph of Brad standing there. There's the guy there that had the whips. Actually, I think it was a couple. The guy but they brought Brad up and gave him a glove to put on. And this glove glove was, it was a leather glove and it was shredded. He's just standing there like looking at this thing in his, it was a perfect photo of him standing there looking at this thing in his hand and it's like dripping. And just the simple things, it could be like going to there's a fair in town, go see the fair. So I love like the county fairs. I love those, the county fairs, the state fairs, those sort of things. I love going to them, especially like going through the agricultural stuff, going through the area where they have the handmade stuff like the quilts, the woodworking or the preserves, the baking area, the floral displays, all those special things that they have. Yeah, you've got all the carnival stuff over there. I'm more interested in the stuff that's over here, seeing all the crafts and that. So look for stuff that's just going to help you, just enjoy the simple things in life. Maybe it's doing a craft. Maybe it's sitting down doing some knitting while watching a movie or crocheting. I've done both of those. Or just sitting and having music play while you knit and crochet. So, just find simple things, or whittling. Some people like to whittle. Just things that you can just sit there and do with your hand while you have some music playing, that you can just relax. I mean, one of the things that Bradley and I like to do when football was not on, American Gridiron for those that are not from the US, is that when that wasn't on, we would just spend, we may go out for a drive and go, oh, let's go down this road, or let's go. No idea where we're going. We come across the road, and the idea was to stay off the freeways. That was our thing, stay off the freeways. We're not allowed on the freeways. We're not allowed on the 15, we're not allowed on the 5. So where can we go? So we stayed off the freeway system. So what back roads could we take to get to different places? What could we find along the way? And we'd go out with no plan in mind except for that. Just keep off the freeways. And we would end up in all sorts of different places. Or other times we'll just sit at home, put our feet up, and just sit there and read and have some music playing. Or, Brad would read at that time. Yeah, so we'd just sit there and read and have music playing. And just sit and chat, just talk. Sometimes we didn't even need to talk. We just needed to just be with each other and just enjoy the moment that we were in, even if we were both sitting there reading, or I was knitting and crocheting, or he was playing a game on his iPad. But it was stuff that we could, if we needed to put it down to talk, we could do that, or we could do it while we were talking. And then we'll just, just sit there next to each other in our recliners and just be. So enjoy the simple things in life. What are some of the simple things in life that you enjoy? Some people enjoy getting out in the garden. I'm not much of a gardener. The green thumb DNA thing missed me completely. If you need your garden killed, call me. I will follow instructions on how to care for plants to the letter and still kill them. Somehow Brad managed to keep plants alive when we were living in Virginia. We had roses, and people go, oh, roses are so difficult to take care of. And we would go out and spray them every now and again for that black spot thing. We never really had any problem with aphids on them. But we got these beautiful roses. And people were going about how much care they needed. And I'm sort of like, well, I just went and snipped off all the dead heads. And we sprayed it for that black spot thing. And they'll be thriving. I think Brad must have done something afterwards, because I'm known to kill plants. So anyway, but what are some of the simple things in life that you enjoy doing? It could be going for a run, going hiking, just the simple pleasures in life that don't require a lot of forethought, don't require a lot of equipment to do, and it's just something that you can like sitting on the back porch and watching the rain for. That's my dream for a log cabin by a lake, is to sit out there on the porch and watch the storm come in over the lake, and just sit there and just be. Yeah, I could do that. Anyway, I'm out of here for today. Go out, have a super fantastic sparkling evening, and we will catch you guys back here. Where are we? Yep, tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Pacific time. So go out, have a super fantastic sparkling evening, and go out and enjoy the simple things in life. We're about to go for a walk at the park. See how many bunny rabbits we can find laying in the grass. Hey, go